Right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Friday afternoon. I hope everyone is doing well. Peace and hair grease, as the old saying goes. Today's video du jour is a delight. I was able to go down to the cities last weekend with my family, and we had a good time. Took my son to some playgrounds and did a lot of cool stuff. But as usual, I stopped off at the Source Comics and Games, which is a very cool game store that I like to peruse, and they had a treat. Oh my gosh, I've been looking for this game because I haven't found a US distributor, and I tried to buy it online, but the shipping cost more than the book, and I was like, nope, not paying that. So I grew up, I was a wee lad. I'm not sure how old I was, maybe older teenager when the movie The Dark Crystal came out from Jim Henson Studios. This movie was magical to me. I might have been in my early 20s. This movie was magical when it came out to me. And to this day, I think it holds up. It's a great movie. If you have children or young at heart people in your family and they haven't seen this movie and they love the Muppets, they love Fraggle Rock, they love fantasy, they love an amazing story, rent this, download it, watch it. There's a board game as well. I don't have much information on the board game. I'm not a huge board game player. My wife tried to watch this movie. She hated it. She just didn't like the voices and stuff. But if you're online with me, you're probably going to enjoy this movie, or you grew up with it as well. It is an amazing movie, and was well ahead of its time. The story is amazing. The visual aspects of the movie were just mind-boggling for the time. And this is way before 3D effects and CGI and all that stuff. So the book is roughly 290 pages. It is a leatherette. It comes with this slipcase on it, which this is a functional slipcase. It's almost like it's got the author Janet Forbes, and Jack Caesar is the rules author, and Janet Forbes is the adventure author. And then on the inside, there's a map on the inside, so this actually can kind of work almost like a little mini GM screen if you wanted to. But on the inside leaflet, there's regions, scenes, and traveling. A little bit about healing, darkened regions and their effect. And then on the other inside flap is the regions on the map and locations of interest for the map. And of course, on the back, it's just a blurb about telling you the book. It comes shrink wrapped, so that was my only downside. Is it was shrink wrapped, so I couldn't flip through it. I knew I was going to buy it no matter what, but I was a little bummed that it was shrink wrapped. I would have liked to have seen an open copy, but it is this like faux leather, and it is embossed. You can feel there's texture on here, and then of course on the back, so this is. And of course, there's nothing written on the spine, which was kind of disappointing because I don't know. I guess you'd keep the sleeve on it. I don't know. This is first and foremost. I've been spending the weekend reading this. In the week, it is beautifully written. It is really well done. This is mostly adventure, so you're getting some bang for your buck. If you've got young kids and you want to run them through a game that's not super violent, super gory, super bloody, but you want to tell an empathetic story and the plight of creatures and things, this is the way to go. So a little bit about this. It is set in the world of Jim Henson's Dark Crystal. So you're not going to be there's no elves, there's no dwarves, there's no orcs and goblins. There are the creatures of Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal. So if you're a fan of that, then you're going to love this. If you're not a fan, then don't buy this book because it's not going to help you. The art in here is just downright gorgeous. And like I said, if you're a fan, then you'll know. Crystal bats and Skeksis. Some of it is in color. Let's see if I can find a nice... I should have, but there we go. Some beautiful color artwork. 3/4 of this book is the adventure written by Janet Forbes. The first part of the book tells you, basically what an RPG is. It's just beautifully illustrated. It's a very simple, it's a D6 mechanic, and I know you're going to say, wait, Mr. Mean, you hate D6 mechanics. This one's got a little twist to it that I really, really like. So you have edges and flaws, basically, that help you build your character. You're going to choose between the Gelflings. There's several different, I think there's seven different types of Gelflings. Let's count them real quick. We've got the book here. We've got time, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. You got 7 different Gelfling types. There's male and female Gelflings. The difference between male and female is that females have wings. They can fly or glide, and males cannot. So that is really the biggest difference. There's 2 things you'll have to print, which you can download them from riverhorse.uk. That's riverhorsegames.uk. And it'll be your character sheet, which is this one over here, and then the GM spiral. This is used for tracking the story and experience. It's very well done. It looks a little chaotic, but it makes sense. You're going to use almost a full set of polyhedrals from D4 to D12. You're not going to need anything above that. So your Xochi dice you can put away. You won't need those. And your standard D20 you will not need. And just some paper and the GM sheet and a character sheet is all you need. Pencil and eraser, of course, and some scratch paper. You make your character. They walk you through it. The book is incredibly well written. You make a character. You pick a race, and then you pick some skills. Skills and traits give you a +1. Flaws give you a negative of some kind, obviously. And basically what you do is they modify that D6. So you're going to roll a D6. So the target number is going to be 2, anywhere between a 2 and a 10 plus. Now a 2 is obviously butt easy. Anybody can do it for the most part. GM probably shouldn't make you roll, especially if you have the proper tools. This game is real big on having the proper tools and the proper skills. For every skill you have that is relevant to what you're trying to do, it's a +1. So if you're rolling a D6, it's going to be based off your attributes. And you're going to add +1. Or if you're more experienced in the skill, it's going to be a +2. If you have favorable tools for the position, like you're trying to pick a lock and you have a lockpick set, that's another +1. If someone's helping you and that works out, that could be it. So there's ways to get advantages, and where the game gets weird in a good way is, say you're trying to pick a lock and there's a Skeksis coming down the hallway, and you know if you get caught, it's going to be bad. So you're obviously under duress, you're under a time crunch, and there's a lot of pressure. So you need to pick this lock. So the GM sets the difficulty at an 8, which is fairly high. Remember, 10 plus is like astronomical. So an 8 on a D6, when you say, John, you can't roll it. Well, let's just say you've got really good lock picks. Well, that gives you a +1. So now you're at 7. You're at a +1 plus your, we'll say your, let's just say your, let's see, I believe it would fall under skullduggery. So let's just say you're good at skullduggery, so you're going to have a +2, all said and done. All right. You got to roll a D6. You need to beat an 8. Well, that's pretty tough on a D6. But you roll your D6, and let's just say you get a 4. Well, 4 plus 2 is 6. You failed. But let's just say you rolled a 6 on that D6. Well, now you get to pick up a D8. It is an ascending ladder. You get to pick up a D8, and you get to roll that D8. Well, let's just say for giggles and wiggles, you roll an 8 on that D8. Now you get to pick up a D10. And this goes all the way up to a D12. So if you roll the maximum value on any die, you get to upscale to the next die and roll that die and then get your final total. If you roll the maximum on that next die, of course, it keeps going. Now, what the game does that's really good, which I think is really neat, is that sounds all fine and dandy, but we've got to have ways to manipulate this and work with it. So we do. And what we do is we give you have specializations for your character class, of course. So you're going to have cool things like that. But one of the neat things they do is to really, because you have a very limited dice pool, you're not going to be chucking a ton of dice in this game. But the good part is the way the GM can add some stress or some ease to the situation is you can either be improved or hindered. If you are improved, like everything's going your way, the stars have aligned, the GM will let you roll the task at improved, which means you get to roll an extra d6. So now again, you're looking for the highest number, but if you roll, now you've got 2 chances of rolling a d6 on a d6. So you can improve your odds there, and then of course you would roll a d8 and so on and so forth. If you're hindered, you have to roll. You'd still roll 2d6, but you you roll 2d6 and you take the lower of the 2 dice. So the only way this is going to be a win and possibly come out with a success is if both of your dice roll 6s, because then you could re-roll and you would have to take the lower of the 2 dice. So you'd roll your 2d6s, both roll a 6. So now you roll 2d8. And one rolls a 1 and one rolls a 7, your task total is a 7 plus or minus any modifiers. You have to take the lower of the dice, even if you're upgrading the dice. So I think it's a very neat mechanic. Combat is an opposed roll. It's very fast. This is not an in-depth rule system, but the story in here is fantastic. Teamwork can help. If you're trained, if you're specialized, you get a further +1 if you're so skills have 3 levels: trained, specialization, and master, and they equate to a +1, +2, +3. Teamwork, of course, will also help you, and you can get approved, so it's just really, really laid out just so well. Your traits can help you. There's lots of good things. If you've watched the movie, then you know about it. I'm not going to go into that because that would just take forever. I will say that of the 7 different races, they all have their things that they are really good at. So like if you were to play a Stonewood, you start with a simple weapon, and this is what I like. Simple weapons are on page 251. You don't have to go flipping through the book to try and find the equipment section. They tell you exactly where to go. And tests related to forestry are improved. So anytime you're going through the woods and you're looking for anything, or you're in the woods and the GM wants you to make a forestry roll, it's improved. You get to roll 2d6. So again, better odds. And then your a living weapon, unarmed fighting tests are not hindered. So you can't be hindered. So if you take damage, you can become hindered. For the Stonewoods, they don't have that problem. Unparalleled fighter. When you draw in a fighting challenge, deal 1 damage to your enemy. So you're just straight up doing a damage right off the bat because you're a fighter. You know how to hit. And then Fated Warrior. By concentrating for a minute, you sense any legendary gear nearby, which is kind of like a sense magic. There is magic in the game, and they go over it. I haven't read that chapter extensively, but it is very cool. There is a comprehensive bestiary in here, which is really nice. So all those things you saw in the movie, or you saw in the, I think it was the Netflix. I haven't seen it yet, and I need to watch it. The Netflix miniseries that they did for this. All those creatures are in here, which is really nice. And like I said, this is 3/4 adventure, and it is very well done. You also get a little pocket in the back, in the very back of the book. There's a nice pocket right here. And you get this, which tells you about experience. You get a little bookmark. Tells you about experience and making tests and the difficulty, hindered, improved, damage, and injuries. So it's really well done. And it fits real nice in this little pocket back here. And then, of course, there's a map on the inside of the book, on both front and back cover. Guys, I can't say enough good about this. Like I said, if you grew up with the Dark Crystal, if you're a fan of Jim Henson Studios, Fraggle Rock, any of those things, and you just want an engaging story, I think this would be phenomenal for your nieces and your nephews, your young kids, your 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, even grown-ass adults, to be honest. I would play this in a heartbeat. If somebody wanted to run this, I would play. I'm not even going to, I'm going to tell you right now, I love it. It also comes with 3 ribbons, so you can bookmark various pages. It is just well done. It is $40 in the U.S. Is it 40 or 45? I can't read it. 45. It's 45 U.S. dollars to buy this. In Canada, it is 40 euro, and in UK pounds, it's 35. So there you go. And it's from Europe. The game company is based out of Europe. Beautiful embossed, cover. Kind of, you see it's a little shiny there. It's still laid out really well. I can't. I mean, the back of it is, like I said, really, really well done. Tells you everything you need to know. Do yourself a favor. Go out and buy this. It's a buy in Mr. Mean's book. I'm so happy to have this in my collection, and I've enjoyed reading it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go look later today, and I'm going to see if I can get that Netflix miniseries that they did for the Dark Crystal, because this is striking to home, guys. This is wonderful. So, like I said, do yourself a favor. If you don't have it, go out and buy it. Order it. The shipping is a little steep. I would say go to your local game store and ask them if they can bring it in for you, because it is pretty steep on the price. It's just, and the adventure in here appears to be very well done. Lots of charts, lots of information for you as a GM to run. It is just simply bar none. I mean, look at that. There's the Skeksis castle, and then that's the adventure. So this much of the book is character creation and story, how to GMing. This is all adventure. So it's crazy. It's very well laid out. It's just really well done, guys. I can't say enough about it. I like the dice mechanic. I like that hindered or improved rolling double dice, and then I like the exploding dice. I mean, that's you can get that chance to make that incredible throw or skill check or whatever test. So really well done, beautiful. I can't gush enough about it. Character creation is very simple and straightforward. Pick your race, add a couple skills, add a couple talents, pick a flaw. You're good to go. You're ready to play. It's that simple. So I hope you guys enjoyed this real quick. You know the deal. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. Just steal from Dave 2D, a very popular tech YouTuber. And then, of course, Matt Colville always says that he puts all the information down in the doobly-doo. So I'll add the doobly-doo information. I'll add a link to the website where you can buy this or find out more information. They've got a ton of PDF and JPEG downloads for this as well. All the different character sheets for the different races are pre-done. They're JPEG sheets that you just print off. And you can see this is digest size. It's a small book, especially, small compared to my big meat paws. But, yeah, this is totally worth it, guys. Totally pick it up. I'll put a link to the publisher down in the doobly-doo, and you guys will be able to pick up your own copy. Let me know if you get it. I kind of really want to run this on the channel. I think it's just adorably cute, and it'll be worth it. So that's it for today, guys. Just a quick video. As always, like and subscribe. I've already said that. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. Check the doobly-doo for more information, and hit me up on Discord. We have an active Discord channel. We have a lot of publishers and designers in our Discord. If there's something you want to know, hit us up, man. There's a link in the doobly-doo for the Discord. We'd love to have you. We have a great community, a lot of knowledgeable people about different games. And, of course, I have Patreon. You can support me for $5 a month, and it keeps these cool reviews coming. And I do a monthly drawing, which I'm going to do a drawing here real soon. I keep saying that, and I keep forgetting to do it. But I'm going to do a drawing. I've got some cool Fallout stuff that I'm going to send out for the miniatures game. I got the core book, and it's the role-playing game based off the miniatures game. They have two different versions of the role-playing game, but I'm going to send out the one that's based off the miniatures game. It uses the same proprietary dice, but I have a set of dice for you, and I have the core rule book that I'm going to be sending to one lucky Patreon. So keep tuned for that. I'm going to hopefully get to that today. But other than that, as always, as Mr. Mean says, be nice and all that fun stuff.